downtown where you can get a date for 50, 60, 70, even 80% off the original social marketplace price. Now available in paperback at e-readers. Isis, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. Better get the cool slow, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue. A black woman who traveled overseas looking for love talks about how she got played by a Pookie in Africa.
I was on Tariq Nasheed's live stream a couple nights ago, and I was listening in as he was talking to this Black American lady who is living right now in Ghana, West Africa, and she was talking about her experience in living out there, and she was giving a lot of insight and a lot of information to, basically about what life is like living in Ghana. And I wanted to take this as an opportunity to tell the story of when I went to Ghana years ago to find love. I was a hopeless romantic at that time, straight up stupid style. Like I'm talking like straight up 90-day fiance style. Okay. So I wanted to draw some parallels between what she said in the live stream and what I experienced when I went to Ghana. Because honestly, I can attest to everything that she said, pretty much everything. Some things that I didn't know because I didn't live out there. I was only in Ghana for 12 days. But when she was talking about the police corruption and how they, if the police pull you over, you basically have to pay them a bribe in order for them to let you go. How they overcharge and overprice Americans. And I experienced that when I was in Ghana. The Ghanaians pay like a local price, and then like the foreigners pay like a higher price. And it's just common. It's just normal for them. And then she was talking about how they basically present moving to Ghana as like this big financial opportunity, or it's like this home welcoming. But when you get out there, you realize that things are much different. And she was talking about how a lot of people don't know, but if you were to if you bought land out there, it don't matter how much you pay for it. If you buy land in Ghana, you don't actually own that land. You're basically renting the land. I want to say she said it's like a 10-year rental or something like that. So you never actually own the land. So after that time is over, whatever you built on top of that land belongs to, belongs to the country. It belongs to Ghana. And then when it comes to like dating out there, they say like, you definitely do not want to go out there as a single woman. And I went out there straight stupid style, straight like 90-day fiance style, met a guy online, flew out there. And when I tell y'all, this man used me like an ATM. Like I told myself I was never going to tell this story. But I'm gonna just tell y'all just a couple things that happened. Like when I first got out there, and this is another thing that she was talking about too, about them basically borrowing money from each other. When I first got out there, I could not, it was too late for me to exchange my US dollars because all of the foreign exchanges were already closed. So the guy that I met, let me backtrack for a second. So I could not get the money from the foreign exchange because it was already closed, but I was hungry and I wanted to get some food. I didn't know old boy didn't have no money at all, right? He straight up lied to me, okay? But the whole time we were talking, he was lying to me. Talking about he's a businessman and he buys and sells cars and all this other kind of stuff. When I got out there, when I tell you this man had no money. He had zero, nada. He didn't have no money at all. I did not know that when I came out there. So he literally went, when we literally went to this little chicken restaurant, like a chain style chicken restaurant. And when I tell you like this meal couldn't have been more than like 10 US dollars total for both of us to eat. He was using this payment system, I guess, that they have, that they borrow money from each other. Like that's basically how a lot of them get by borrowing money from each other. And that's literally what he was doing. Like I heard him kind of like walk off to the side and start calling around to his friends so they can send him some money. I don't know if it's like a Cash App or a Venmo style, but she was talking about that too. Like how they basically like they survive by borrowing money from each other. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to go into a part 2 and then I'm going to finish up telling y'all what happened when I was in Ghana. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up with a part 2 of me going to Ghana to find love and basically being used like an ATM and played like a fiddle. Y'all, okay, so I want to say this, the first day that I was there, he came to pick me up from the hotel. We go to the gas station and when we pull up, the guy tells him how much it costs. It was like 300 cedis, which is the equivalent to like 40 or 50 US dollars. And he looks over at me and I'm looking at him like, why are you looking at me? So he was like, oh, it's gonna cost 300 cedis for the gas. And I was like, you don't have gas money? You don't have any money to pay for gas for your own car? And he was like, well, he was like, well, I'm just, and he started making up all of these excuses about like him going through these struggles, which he didn't tell me that before. He didn't say that before I came out there to see him. All right. He made it seem like he was a businessman. Then when I got out there, then it was all these excuses of to why he didn't have no money. Oh, I don't have no money. I don't have whatever. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, what the hell is going on? So anyways, just to speed this shit along, I paid for the gas, but for that day. And, I checked him about that. I'm like, you don't have gas to pay for your own. You don't have enough money to pay for gas for your own car, sweetheart. Like, so then, we're talking about that and he gives me this explanation, but I'm like, that particular day, I started looking around as we were driving. And I'm thinking, like, should I just leave this motherfucker and go and get me a check out of this hotel, check into a different hotel where he don't know where I'm at, or should I look for flights to go back home early? Like, I'm thinking like what to do, because he basically told me that he didn't have any money at all. So this entire trip, if I'm gonna be with him, it's gonna be all on me. But I'm telling y'all, I played the fool. I was just like, you know what? I'm here. I want to experience the culture. I'm already here. I already paid all this money to get here. Let me just rock this shit out and let's just do the damn thing, right? I wasn't expecting to. I mean, it's not like I didn't really. It's not like it would have broke me to pay for everything, but it's still. That's not what I expected. If I have a budget, I expect to only spend a certain amount of money. I wasn't expecting to pay for 2 people for 12 days, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and excursions, and all of that. And when I tell y'all, I got sick when I was out there, like badly sick. Like the food had my stomach turning, like, and I'm not even trying to down Ghanaian food or nothing like that. It's just that I think that the type of whatever that the soups, however they make them, it must be used with well water or something. My stomach was fucked up. Like we had to go to the pharmacy so I can get something to stop up my system. Y'all, like, it was hard to find a public restroom anywhere, like, especially once you go outside the major city. Like, it's so hard. Like, you pretty much can't find a public. You gotta and piss outside. I mean, so I kind of see why open defecation is a thing, because you ain't nowhere for you to go. Oh, and then let me tell you, baby, one time he pulls over to the side to pick up one of his friends. Okay, nice enough friend and everything, but I assumed that he was probably just as broke as old boy. And then we go to a botanical garden. Of course, I have to pay. You pay per car, so of course I had to pay because neither one of them had any money. So we go into this botanical garden. To be honest with you, I wasn't really having a good time. If you had saw the look on my face in some of the pictures I took, you would have been like, yeah, you was not happy, because I was not happy. Okay. So we sit down, like we hung. I mean, at this point I'm hungry. I'm like, and there was a restaurant there. So I'm like, okay, we'll go get some food. But then I just had a feeling, I'm like, this friend probably don't have no money. I already expected that I was going to have to pay for me and old boy. I just knew it. I'm like, we discussed this already. I already know he doesn't have the money, right? So, of course, oh boy, his friend did not have any money to buy his own food. So I was nice about it, and I bought a plate for myself, and I bought a plate for them to share, okay? Because I wasn't going to buy old boy a plate for himself. Like, you're not about to just, well, you're not just going to treat me. I'm already being treated like an ATM, right? And like, y'all, the entire trip, the entire time I was there, I mean, he did not pay for not one thing. Not one thing. And then he was, the whole time he talking about marriage and kids, and I'm looking like, bro, I'm not about to have no babies and be married to you. What type of lifestyle is that gonna be for me? I could not wait to get out of Ghana. Get out of Ghana. I could not wait to come home to America. Like, I'm gonna just be all the way real with y'all. Like, I could not wait. I don't even see how that lady that was on Tariq Nasheed's live, I don't even see how she living out there. I saw where he was living at. There's no way. Like, it's literally like dorm style, like where it's like a bunch of rooms. Everybody has one room, and they basically live their life in a bedroom as if it's an apartment, and they share a bathroom with everybody that's living in there in the compound. And that's the lifestyle of a lot of people out there. And I don't know what she's living like. The lady that was on his live, I don't know what type of lifestyle she's living. I don't know how they are doing that shit, especially as an American and we used to a lot of conveniences. I don't know how, like, the electricity kept going out, the water kept turning off, even at the hotel. Y'all, that I could go more in depth into the story, but honestly, I don't want to make these videos too long. But I'm gonna just tell y'all, like, don't fall for the hype when it comes to Africa. And if you're a single woman, it's not gonna work, boo boo.
In this video that this black woman posted on TikTok, she talks all about a trip to Ghana that she took looking for love. And as she talks about this trip that she took looking for love, she talks about how she basically got used by this man in Ghana who basically went out here and saw her as a human ATM. And according to her, she says that this guy basically told her that he was a businessman, and as he told her he was a businessman, he looked for her to go out with him, and every time they went out somewhere, this guy basically had no money whatsoever. And as she was looking to foot the bill to continue to get involved with this guy, he basically went out here and used her like an ATM, and she wound up getting played by this guy who was just basically looking to take advantage of her and look to get her to spend money on him and possibly go out here and get her to drop the skid mark jockey draws so he could get a taste of American atomic waste from the special place and get another notch in his belt. Now, when I listened to this woman, who some would call a passport sis, her story eerily sounds just like the stories of many of the passport bros who basically say that they cannot tolerate the modern Western women and have to travel overseas and look to have a relationship with one of these foreign women. And these men basically say that the situation with these women are untenable and they have to look for people from another country to get involved with. And that's what this woman was saying. She basically was looking to travel overseas to go out here and look to try to find love with a foreign man, possibly because she felt that there were no black men in her community that she could have a relationship with, because she thought that the guys in America were basically all Pookies. And sadly, as she went over to Africa and Ghana, she basically ran into the same kind of guy in Ghana. Now, when I look at this situation, it really shows me that it doesn't matter if you're a passport bro or a passport sis or a swirler or divester. All of these individuals are out here looking to leave America, looking for love, and sadly, a lot of them go to these other countries and sadly wind up in the same situation that they would wind up here in America. And they wind up in the same situation because a lot of these people have not really gone out here and taken a look at themselves inside and done any sort of self-reflection, because the thing that's the common denominator as related to them having these failed relationships is them, whether it be the passport bro, whether it be the passport sis, whether it be the swirler or divester. It's all these individuals who don't want to take a look at themselves and see who they are the real problem of why they can't have a successful relationship. Because this woman basically traveled thousands of miles and didn't look at herself, because what happened with her is that she was what she attracted, and as she was in this country, she basically radiated this energy that made it where she basically attracted this Pookie to her. No different than if she were in America, she would have attracted the same type of Pookie type guy, and that Pookie type guy basically would have just run the same type of game on her, telling her what she wanted to hear. And as this woman basically heard what she wanted to hear, oh, this guy's a businessman, and didn't really take a critical look at his actions. She didn't see from his words not matching his actions, because when it comes down to a businessman basically, if he's talking to a woman, he's going to have money, and he's going to have his own money to go out here and be able to pay for things like his gas or even pay for a restaurant, because he can basically deduct that possibly as a business expense. Or if he's just got, again, things going, he can basically write that off. But if he's talking to you and telling you he's got no money, basically this dude is basically full of it. And that's what this woman didn't understand. Again, she didn't know how to read a man, just like many of the passport bros don't know how to read women. And in both cases, what happens with these folks is that they wind up going to a foreign country looking for love, but sadly don't see that the thing that's happening with them is that because they don't love themselves, they wind up creating energy that leads to predators wind up being attracted to them. And those predators are attracted to them because they know these individuals are naive. They know that these individuals are green, and they've basically read this person and see an easy mark they believe they can take advantage of. That's what happens in these cases. And what happens with women like this, just like it happens to passport bros, is, yeah, they go overseas thinking they're going to find an opportunity at love, but the whole thing is that they wind up in a situation where they wind up in a place where they are the mark, and they're the mark that just gets taken advantage of as they're in this foreign country, because 1, they don't know the land. 2, they don't know the people, and they don't know how things work in that country. And sadly, as they don't know how things work in that country, they don't know that people are basically people. And when it comes down to people, like Jesus said, man is evil, and men out here and women are going to take opportunities to take advantage of those who don't know anything but are caught up in their feelings about, hey, I'm going to go to this country and I'm going to go out here and show everyone I can find a better partner. But in actuality, the problem is they don't want to go out here and do the work to become the better person that goes out here and attracts the kind of person who would be right for them. They don't want to go out here and do that work. No, what they want to do in the case of these passport bros and these passport sisters is they want to go out here and look for an easy workaround, and they believe that it's the guys in their home country that are the problem, when the problem has always been them. And in the case of this black woman, basically, she talks about how she got scammed, but we don't really see how she grew from the situation to come to that moment where she basically realizes, hey, I'm the one who keeps attracting these type of people to me. I keep attracting these Pookie type guys, because if you're going out here and you're getting with the same type of guy in a foreign country that you're getting with here in America, again, that shows that the problem is the person. It's the person who basically doesn't want to go out here and do that self-reflection or that self-examination. And as they don't want to do that self-reflection or self-examination, like I said before, what they want is a workaround where they think, if I go to this other country, I'll be able to find that better partner, when in actuality, all they're doing is going to go to a place where they get with the exact same person, whether it be of a different culture or a different color. It's basically the same type of person, because they haven't really gone out here and looked at their pattern of behavior or their paradigm of behavior. And when it comes down to many of these black women, they don't really realize that they're in a paradigm of failure, basically, which was their model. And I talk about that in depth in my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. In that book, I talk about how women are in this paradigm of failure where they basically get in these codependent relationships with these type of dudes who basically they gotta pay for and basically take care of, like a surrogate child or a adopted child, and the relationship is completely codependent, and they don't even understand you're falling in this pattern where you're tolerating this guy instead of saying, okay, if this guy is talking about he ain't got no money and he's a businessman, that's a red flag, because if this guy was on point, again, he would be out here ready to go out here and say, okay, what's $10 to me for a chicken dinner? Again, I got my money from my own gas. Again, these were red flags that basically I'm looking at as related to this dude. Again, same situation, but different country. And this woman, again, it never really registered her. She's thinking it's, again, that it's the country that was the problem, but it's not the country that's the problem. The problem is the black woman, no different than it is the black man as related to the passport bros. Both of them have serious issues. And again, they're looking for love outside when the problem is that they don't love themselves. And as they don't love themselves, what they do is go out here and get targeted by succubuses and incubuses. And these predators basically take advantage of them. They wind up taking advantage of both these men and women. But both of them, because they're caught up in a gender war, they get in their feelings and say that, you know, the other side is bad, when in actuality, the problem is that both sides are basically being manipulated by the system of white supremacy. And as they're manipulated by the system of white supremacy, they're not taught to love themselves or love someone who looks like them or comes from their culture. No, they're taught that, oh, this black man is bad. They're taught that this black woman is bad, and you need to go outside of your culture and outside of your community and outside of your nation. That's what the passport bro, the passport sis, the swirler, and divester are all told. And as they go outside looking for love, what they do is enter a romantic junkyard and looking to pick and pull with everybody else's leftover men and women, dealing with people who are either bottom shelf Brads or bottom shelf Marias or bottom shelf Maylins or bottom shelf Mr. Who or bottom shelf Hassan or bottom shelf people. Again, people who in their own communities, they've basically been rejected by their own communities. They're basically thinking that they've struck gold by going into this junkyard and picking through the garbage. They're sitting there thinking, oh, I'm going to go out here and find this better partner from somebody else's leftovers in somebody else's community, and only to find themselves deeply disappointed. Like this woman, when she went to Ghana and was deeply disappointed because what she found was no different than what she would find in America. She found herself another Pookie. Again, she could have just went over to the hood and found a Pookie just like this, because she doesn't understand, like I understand. Again, you got to get yourself right. You got to get your energy straight. You got to get yourself on point, because if you get your energy straight and get yourself on point and start to love yourself, what you're going to do is repel these type of people, these predatory people, these raggedy, trifling type people. They're not going to even want to step to you, because once you change your energy, you're going to attract a different type of person, and you're going to start attracting different types of people. You're not going to attract the users and the predators, because if you've got any semblance of confidence and any semblance of energy, again, these people ain't going to want to deal with you, because they know they can't use you. They're not going to want to deal with you at all, because they know that you're on point and you're going to expect them to be on point. So they know that they can't hustle you. So when it comes down to people who are on point and got their stuff together mentally and got their head on straight, again, when they travel, they're not dealing with these type of folks. But you'll hear many of these people, like these passport bros, these passport sisters, these swirlers and divestors, sitting here talking about they got to go outside looking for love. but the whole thing is they don't want to do the work within to help themselves. And again, if we did the work within as related to ourselves, a lot of us would be able to easily find the partners out here who we're compatible with. We'd be able to find people we're compatible with, but we have to start doing that work inside. And when it comes to the black man and the black woman, we really don't, a lot of us don't want to do the work. No, we're looking for gimmicks. We're looking for workarounds instead of going out here and exploring that pain and exploring what we're doing wrong. We've got to go out here and again do that work as related to ourselves, and we have to go out here and do that work to improve ourselves. We have to go out here and again push to do that work for ourselves to improve ourselves, because if we go out here and do that work to improve ourselves, we can find those people who basically will be, again, good for us and be good with us and bring out the best in us. We can find, again, God will lead us to those people if we get ourselves together. Again, God has those people for us out here, but the whole thing is we've got to go out here and start to love ourselves and show the love of God, because when it comes to us, it's our self-hatred that basically has us out here, again, looking for things outside of with other people that we aren't looking for with ourselves. And that's the thing that keeps black men and black women completely divided and getting, again, played like this. I mean, this woman, again, she traveled overseas and got played no different than she would by one of these Pookies out here, wound up in the same codependent situation, no different than the Pookies over here, or in the case of these passport bros, these guys basically go over to a foreign country, get played by these women who get themselves free meals, free drinks, and basically go out here and get their needs taken care of just for a taste of the atomic waste. And these guys think that they've accomplished something, when in actuality, you just got played no different than any other dude on any day, and don't see how the locals are basically laughing at you. The locals are laughing at you because they already knew that this dude was raggedy, or they knew that this chick was raggedy. They knew that this person wasn't worth the time, but they see you, the black person, and see you as the mark that they're basically laughing at, because you're the one who thinks that you've got the prize, when in actuality all you've got is just a piece of garbage. Because again, like I've said in many videos, if these people were so great, why aren't they married in their own country? That's always a critical question I've proposed. If these people were so great, why didn't somebody in their country marry them? Because again, if you're a businessman in Africa, you should have no problem pulling African women, or even some of these white and Asian women should have no problem pulling them women. But this guy basically saw he could run this game, no different than what happens to the passport bros who get game run on them all the time. And as they're getting this game run on them all the time, they want to move the goalposts and say, oh, this isn't happening to me. No, they're in deep denial. And as they're in deep denial, they don't want to see the reality that is there, that they have to go out here and do that work on themselves and learn to love themselves. That's how you break out of this whole paradox as related to dating and relationships. And when it comes to the black man and the black woman, they don't want to go out here and do that whole work. Nope, like I said before, doing that work means that you got to take a long, hard look at yourself. You got to take a painful examination of yourself and really look at who you have become. And many black people basically don't want to do that work. And that's why we have people out here, again, spending thousands of dollars traveling overseas and winding up with the same goose egg they would get right here in America. Now, if you want to learn why many black women like this are single and caught up in a paradigm of failure, you can pick up my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Why 70% of Black Women Are Single at other online booksellers like Draft Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to see me make more videos talking about dating and relationships, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. Esteem, a New Woman. The devilish diva starts on the road to becoming a new creature in Christ in this all-new Esteem series adventure. Get your copy of Esteem, A New Woman at Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella. Discover the dark side of love in this goth and lovely romance with Spinsterella. Get Spinsterella in paperback and e-readers at your favorite online bookseller today. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer. Take a trip into the macabre world of goth modeling in the new millennium in this spooktacular Spinsterella story. Pick up your copy of Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.